What's up, everybody? It's your boy AP Presto, aka Ass Kicking Expert. Today I'm playing Carrier Command 2. It's basically you control an aircraft carrier, you go take over enemy islands, unlock new technology, and ultimately go kill the other enemy aircraft carriers. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with a new game. I'm gonna do custom, 64 islands, 4 AI teams, just one starting island, and then just 2 on the base difficulty. I didn't want to make it too hard, especially playing by myself. Everything else default, and we're gonna start it up. So just starting out, I wanted to show you guys how I initially set up my aircraft carrier and just get everything running. I'm gonna go over everything one by one. So I'm gonna go over here, flip the main breaker on, see how the screen's loading up. This displays everything here. Got your fuel, your health, your weight, and then you can deploy your carrier from here. But I'm gonna hold off for that just a second. Come over to the logistics screens. Essentially, you got your stock. What I like to do at the start is just order some of the essential items. So I'll order some of the cannons that are already on the initial starting island, and then other munitions and things like that. We got some more utility items, so I wanted to grab those just in case, for whatever reason I lose some units early on in the game. I want to have these on my ship already, so I can easily just send more units out, equip, re-equip, whatever need be. The virus modules are nice. This is how you take over islands in the game. I'm gonna just bring a lot of those. You never know. We got some chassis here, some ground vehicle chassis, so I'm gonna just order all those because I don't want something to happen to my ground vehicles and then I can't replace them. I'm gonna do the same thing with the air, and then I'm gonna just bring all the fuel. I don't really mind being weighed down a little bit. It's not too bad, especially since we have a ton of weight that we can carry. I'll go to the waypoint screen or the barge screen, set the waypoints for the barge, and you can do kind of like a loop from your starting island to your aircraft carrier, and then it'll just make the barge keep repeating, going back and forth. On the logistics map, you can see the different icons for the enemy islands. So if you take those islands over, it shows you the technology that you will earn. So basically, when you start, you just want to decide, or it's kind of like personal preference, what technologies would you like to unlock first? What do you think would be the most useful early on? And then also you got to look at the shields for certain islands. It'll tell you the difficulty of taking that island. Higher shields will be way more defenses, like AA turrets, like ground turrets. Everything's set up on my vehicles. I'm gonna go ahead and deploy. I like to switch all my my screens here to just the things that I like to see. I'm gonna have the water current on the left. They got the ocean depth in the middle, and then wind all the way on the right. Right here you can see this is the basically camera, main gun, everything. So any ordnance that the carrier can fire, you'll fire it from there. This is where you'll deploy aircraft at. I like to hold one on deck, and then when I'm getting closer to the island, I'll deploy like a drone to go scout it out. It does get harder with the higher tier islands just because of the AA, but you can put infrared countermeasures and things like that. So if you do encounter that, try to retreat them as quick as possible, or you could just stay 3,000 meters in the sky or something, or whatever it is. Here we got that first albatross coming out. It's an unmanned drone. I really like the detail that it has, like coming out of the carrier bay and then taking off from the runway. It looks really good. So we're gonna let it take off now. On these screens, you can see basically where all your units are at on the map, on the entire map. You'll see any marked enemies as well. They'll pop up as red circles or a red boat if it's a patrol boat or anything else like that. What I like to do is get my albatross in a circle around the island, and then I'll connect with the albatross, go to the gimbal camera, and start marking enemy. It's pretty easy to spot them at most times just because of the lights on the vehicles. But when you get to the higher tier islands, it'll be harder to spot those different turrets. So basically what I do, make that one pass, try to mark as many enemies as possible, and then kind of look at their patrol patterns and decide where am I gonna land my ground troops. Always want to kind of land it on the side closer to where the enemy headquarters is at, or whatever the building is that you need to deploy the virus at to take the island. So I'll just keep marking enemies, and it'll let you know whenever you scan them. It'll do the first 100% is just telling you what kind of vehicle chassis it is, and then if you keep scanning them another 100%, then it'll let you know what gun they have. And also turn your deck lights on when the albatross is coming in for a landing, because I definitely thought I just lost that drone, but thankfully it came up out the water. So I went in, got to turn those deck lights on so it doesn't crash or something. We got pretty lucky with that. So it's coming back around, coming in for a landing. So make sure you turn your deck lights on. Man, I really like that footage, man. I really do. This game looks nice. I like this commander screen here. You can see kind of like the topography of the terrain, and you can definitely tell, you know, where it's deeper at and how close you can pull your carrier in. So around this time I start deploying the Razor Bills. It's basically unmanned helicopters, and then I'll put them in a patrol pattern. Got the second one out there. Start pulling the carrier closer just to try to get ready for that ground invasion. So my Razor Bills start to get engaged. I pull them back, really because I didn't remember how to use them, so I had to figure that out again. So I pulled them back a little bit, then I figured it out. Oh yeah, I gotta, you know, drag the waypoint to the enemy. Here I'm deploying my ground vehicles, and it was a little too early, but that's fine. I could have pulled way closer and let my helicopters go out there and kill everything, which they are fucking them up, so that's pretty good. So I'm gonna have them engage these other enemies, just because they really are doing pretty good out there. So I'm just kind of watching the action here. We see a missile coming. Ooh. Boom. And another one. Boom. And you can see the enemy vehicle is trying to shoot at the missiles in the sky, try to take them out. But the Razor Bills are done. They're out of ammo, so I gotta bring them back. You can see here I got the ground vehicles deployed out of the carrier now. They're gonna start moving through the water to try to get closer to shore and engage those enemy ground troops. And again, looking back, way too early to try to do this. I could have just sent some more air out. And at the same time, it's kind of easier in the beginning just taking all these first islands if you use air and stuff like that. But those munitions you got to replace, and a lot of the times starting out with the starter technology at the beginning of the game, you're not gonna have the capability to make those munitions, so you gotta spare them until you know that you can replace them. But it's not bad to use your ammo. Right here you can see the deck gun basically just fucking them up. I really like that for groups of enemies, just because the big splash. You also have a cruise missile capability too, which we'll see here in a minute. You see my guys out there fighting. They're shooting as they're pulling up in the water, trying to make it to that island. Pulling the aircraft carrier closer here, just to try to better support those ground units. Stopping, back on the gun. You see my guys right there, pretty close. They're moving up the beach. Alright, so this has no ammo, so I gotta wait for it to reload basically. So that's when I'm gonna switch. But I gotta activate that cruise missile. So it's a lot of things in here. You gotta activate these switches to bring the gun online before you can use it. And here goes one cruise missile. It looks like my guys have this guy. I shouldn't have wasted this cruise missile, but it is what it is. Anything worth killing is worth overkilling, you know what I'm saying? So that's beautiful. Got my guys, they took that first island now. They're running out of ammo, and they got a lot of enemies coming up on them. So me not being able to really pay attention to that for some reason, I just deploy the virus bot, and then I realized that my guys are out of ammo. I quickly get an albatross in the air. I got him fucking running up on these enemies here, bringing my SEALs back, bringing those ground troops back, bringing the virus on just through the water, so he doesn't become like a huge target. The virus bot doesn't have any guns, so I can't really run him up in the enemy's face. Here I go shooting more cruise missiles again. I really like these. I really like the visuals of this game. It's very basic, but it's real satisfying at the same time. So basically, I don't have any kind of supporting ground troops. I'm just sweeping up these guys with air. So now I got two albatross out. Those are those UAV looking drones. And basically just looping them around the island for now, which is kind of a lot because there's no more enemies. I just wanted to make sure. So here you can see I'm sweeping with the camera, just looking for anything else. That was the main building right there. The main enemy building with that radar dish on top. That's where you deploy the virus. I'm just trying to get closer, make it easier to leave whenever I'm done taking the island. I spotted a patrol boat on the radar, so I was trying to hit it with a cruise missile, but you'll be able to see how this goes. It's like almost 10,000 meters away. It's a lot, right? So that cruise missile takes forever to get there. I sped this up, but it just took forever. I think I would have hit it, but those swordfish patrol boats, they do come with like anti-air capabilities. So they ended up engaging the missile and intercepted it before it hit them. But that's alright. I was just trying to see if I could hit them. I don't think the patrol boat, it engaged me at all. Here goes the virus bot, virus drone. Deploy the virus there. You got him coming back. You can see the depth sonar here. We'll make sure you're not beaching or nothing. And that shit'll start ringing loud as hell too if you get close, so you'll know. Got an albatross landing, coming in. So basically all my units are coming back now. I got the two albatross that were in the sky are coming, they're landing. So whenever you take a new island, you're gonna have basically access to the production of whatever blueprints that island offers. So here you can build some more cannons basically for your ground troops, and they are better than the starter cannons, so that's good. But now I need to get the munitions, or like some type of munitions island, so I can build munitions for those. I'm gonna do the waypoint with my barge in that new factory so I can get all those new cannons I'm producing. So that was the first island takeover for Carrier Command 2. I am going to be streaming this. So make sure you check in, subscribe.